Hello. How are we doing today? This afternoon, this morning, this evening, depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching it live or on YouTube. My name's Joe Godagno. We're going to continue with our Event Meetups app. Hopefully we get all the syndication stuff done. Did a lot of work in the last couple of days. Sorry I missed Tuesday's stream. I was a little got a late start to dinner, and then afterwards we were done like 7:30 my time, and I just kind of didn't feel like it. So let's get started. Where did we leave off? So we left off with I could not get the routing to work correctly with it. So I went and did some research on routes and stuff. So originally we had in the startup an endpoint map controller route that defaulted with RSS into the home controller and the action of RSS. But then that got a little messy when we had 2 or 3 of them. So what I ended up doing, right or wrong or indifferent, in the home controller, let's minimize you, let's make you full screen. I went and let me increase the font a little bit. Where are you? Settings, editor, code editing, general, not fonts. Let's bump you up to 18. Hopefully that's better to see on the screen. It's a little bit better on my end. I'm also in front of a gigantic monitor. So what we did here, the response cache is just there to say, hey, cache it for now until we figure out a better way of caching. We just say, use this path. So when we have the short name, like TechEd 2013 and RSS, call this particular action. When it says short name, do this particular action. And then the same thing for Geo. Now, the other thing we did differently is I was struggling with returning files or what have you, and I got it to work with the file, but it wasn't exactly what we wanted. So I was doing some searching around, and someone had an idea of coming up with a custom action result. So I said, that makes sense. Let's go and do that. So let's take a look at those actions. Oh, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. We had red pepper with my dinner, and I feel like it's right on the tip of my nose. So I apologize in advance if I sneeze. So this action result, you need to you don't need to, but you overwrite one of 2 methods. The execute result async or execute result. Since I'm doing just asynchronous, I overrode this one. You pass in the syndication feed, and all this really does is works with the HTTP response to write the data out. So here we're setting the contact type to application/atom.xml. And then we're still using the syndication reader and just formatting it as an Atom stream, creating the writer for the UTF encoding. And then here, we just look to see if the debugger is intact. If it is, we set the indentation to true, and it's kind of pretty prints it. So like when we're testing it here, it looks nicer. But otherwise it returns as just one long string, which is, less bytes down the wire, so to speak. Then just create a string builder, write the XML to the string, and then return the string to the browser with the right async. And then you have to wrap it up with the complete async, because what I learned is that when you don't do this, sometimes the response does not get returned and you get this really weird content incomplete message. So got to put this here, which you should do anyway when you're writing out custom responses if you ever have the need to. And the RSS one looks exactly the same, except these two lines are different. So in theory, I can just move these out and just pass in, a parameter for this, or have these in a shared method. But if we look at the web result for result action, it's the same thing, just these two lines are different. And then I can get rid of this because that's not needed. And let's run it. I also did some cleanup of some of the files. I moved them into different folders now that we're kind of done playing. So these web specific stuff like middleware has been moved into a web folder here. So let's go and start I also cleaned up all the configurations. So we only have two that we use. The ISS Express I kept because at some point I want to try to get that to work. And it looks like they are all working. Stop them all. I learned this time after I did the cleanup, I ran it prior to the stream to make sure it actually still works. So let's hit play on you. And I'm going to show the difference between the two versions of the RSS based on whether or not we're in debug mode or not. Let's start off with this. And we're going to start in debug. Debug starts a lot slower. It's got code a lot. This is just the API. This is probably what I'm going to do next. It's kind of cool to build out the sitemap on it. This works. Let's go to the URL, tech at EventInfo. Notice that still works. Nothing changed here. So I'm going to go to RSS feed. Let's do this one now. This is it, pretty printed, works fine. I actually have to fix the URL because that is not the geocoding. I got the names wrong, but the only difference is how it's formatted. This is formatted as Adam, as you can see here, and the other is formatted as. So that's working. I'm going to stop this and start it in play mode where this debugger is not attached, and you'll see the format is slightly different. It's made more machine readable. So now if I refresh this, it's just going to be one big blob, and you'll notice here if I zoom in, oops. So stop it. Window escape. I wanted Control ++. You see here how we have the pretty printing and new lines for everything. Once I hit refresh, all that's going to go. Now it's just one long line with word wrapping. This is only showing as multiple lines because this does not fit on the screen, but if I was to stretch it out forever, you'd see it that way. The actual text that comes back in a browser is small. So that's more so for us when we're building it out to test to make sure that everything. So that's cool. Got that working. Let's stop the UI. We don't really need it right now. Ooh, what were these errors? That's new. I actually didn't catch that. So set XML writer dot async to true if you want to use async method. Well, that is you got sync true. Let's do that in the other method. I didn't even catch that message. I wasn't looking yesterday at it. Like it works, so I bother looking. Did you get any other messages? Nope. Okay, cool. Ooh, we got that. I'm just going to close all these. That open. We got Atom. And now we need Geo. We actually have to code this Geo part, this method here, but I want to fix the layout here because we are using Geo for Atom, which is not correct. This should be Geo. Yeah. Copy and paste that. And let's get you back here. And this should be Atom feed URL. Atom feed. Atom. This Atom. I don't know why the order is the way it is. Or why I put it like that, but I am going to change the order because to me the Geo makes less sense. And I remember if I mentioned this or not previously, all the Geo one is, which we'll see in a little bit, is it has the coordinates in it. So if you have a certain type of reader, you will be able to see the locations of the events right in there. Because I store the latitude and longitude of it. So that's going to change the menu look a little bit because we switched the order of them. I'm leaving the to-dos in there because I want to clean this up a bit. Actually, I don't even think I need to clean that up. I think that's fine the way. But I'll leave the to-dos there. So now we should be good. Save that, close it. You're going to ignore the other reds in there. Now I need to do this method. So let's go function F2. Function F12. Oh, you not must hit F11. My bad. My bad. Stop you. And let's go directly to the syndication service. And then we got 2 RSS, which is fine. That's a short method. I collapsed it. But really, the only difference is if we go and look at the other code, the only difference between 2 RSS and 2 geocoded is this extra line here. I think it's just these extra lines. Geocoded data. Ooh, where'd that come from? I don't remember that method. Let's see. Where is that function? 12. This is my add-on library. RSS point item. Let's see if the syndication library supports it. If not, we're going to have to add in that feature. So I am just going to jump to here, which is where we are building it, and do an item dot no, it doesn't support it. Categories, authors, content, contributors, ID, links, summary, title, attributes. Ooh, maybe it's under element extensions. Let's see what that is. Good thing is that even though this was ported, there is actually some really good docs on it. Let's do syndication feed. In this class here, see if we have an example. Probably want to add more to it, like contributors and all that, but I can do that afterwards. Add custom element. And I don't want to create, I don't think it's a custom language, indication link. See what properties, see what element extensions is. Gets the element extensions for the feed. That's awesome. Data contract. Doesn't do what we want it to do. Links, language, image URL. I think we're already populating that. Let's see if there's item, syndication item. Link, publish date, qualified name, attribute extension. Authors, base URI, categories, content, contributors, extensions, source, feed, summary, and title. It does not have it in here. Ooh, boy. Okay. So if we want to support the geo feed, which I think was an extension that looks like it's not really anymore. Just double check my sample. It's here, I believe. And geo RSS. See if that was a thing. Search for that bad boy. Hopefully I find something other than the sample I wrote a while ago. Yeah. It looks like TRS widget atom fee. They're all dated 10, 11 years ago. Might not be a thing anymore. Ooh, there's a feed validator. Let's see if that's still a thing. Nope. Yeah. Might not be a thing anymore. I might just have to get rid of it. Maybe I will add that as a custom attribute. So I am going to just take that out. Executive decision. Take it out and do, let's put a to-do. Do research, heading, latitude, and longitude to the dimensions. And apparently my camera is, I was playing around with it earlier, showing someone something in my house, and I gotta get out of the habit of doing. Okay, so we got that. Now I just gotta get rid of all the other noise for it. So syndication service. Bye GeoFeed. Where are you, GeoFeed? Did I even build you out? Yes, I did. Bye GeoFeed. And now let's get rid of the route. And that's good. Now we need to update the layout and remove the whole geo thing because that's no longer a thing. Bye. Cool beans. Now we have to implement the calendar function. So I am going, what time is it? I started late. I can do. Let's do this. Actually, let's just copy and paste this whole thing and I'll change it. This is going to just be calendar. Get calendar. Now, there's going to be two ways to get the calendar here. We got the HTTP, HTTPS, MVP Summit Events.info / MVP 2018 / calendar. And that should return all of the events. So you get the entire calendar of every event happening at this thing. And then there's the event ID, which only gets the appointment for just that instance of the event. So if we go back to our database here, which is not running. Ooh, no data. Oh man. I renamed the files to kind of be consistent, and looks like I deleted the IDE files. Oh well. I don't remember what the user and password is. What did we call it? I don't remember. Go to secrets and find out. So let's do that. Secrets. Secrets. Searching for the app secrets so I can just paste them in there because I don't remember what they are. It's one of the beauties of doing this that way. Oh, this one's super secure, so should have shared it. Event users, so let's close you and let's go and add you. You'll be able to come off secrets. And the username is EventMeetups_user. The password that's hidden. And it should be event. Oops, control space. Doesn't connect. There it goes. Event meetups. That's the connection. Okay. Let's do select star from event meetups. Event meetups. DBO dot hasn't found all the items yet. I don't have list permissions. I only have DB reader and DB write, so I think we called it meetups. Let's see. Nope. Call it meetups. What did I call it? Event meetups dot. Oh, it's events. Guess not. It's the right schema. There it goes. I think where we want main event ID equals to 8 is what we're using. Where main event ID equals 8. So these 9 events. So if we go to, let's just say HTTPS MVP Summit Events.info / TechEd. Or sorry, this is MVP 2018 / calendar should return an iCal with 9 events in it. But if we go to say this /99 should just show the event for TechEd welcome reception. So that's what we got to do next. At least that's what I think I did. I'll have to double check it. In the code base. So let's put this here as the example. Consistent with everything else, and we'll delete them once they're done. This is just so we can see the visual what we're looking for. Now we might just be able to do /alpha option or sorry, event ID optional, then do this should be alpha. This should be int event ID, and then we can filter off of that. Just do something here like Sorry, hit the wrong button. Maybe nullable int. Then if event not equal null, else get single iCal, otherwise get all. Let's go to the other sample, which is this one. I also renamed the product or the solution, so I know which one's the old one, which one's the new. Working in the old one now because it doesn't have .core at the end. Take a look at the web handler. I believe it's in web, HTTP handlers, and calendar. Let's see what we did here. Yeah, we did the same thing. Returns all the events. Oh, we did cal. Good catch. Good catch. Even patting myself on the back for finding issue. Before it happened, yay me. But we don't need to worry about this. You need to worry about this. Okay, so I think we just need to call this. If event parameter equals no, and event parameter toString is nothing. Oh yeah, okay, good. So this just checks to see if it's all them. Give me a list of all them. If not, give me a single item. Okay. So let's go and do that. If event ID, if not, event ID dot has value. This is nothing else has a value. So let's go and take the value out. Bar. Actually, let's do this. Just call this ID because it's consistent with else. I can use event ID here, which is what I really want. Our event ID equals. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I could have just did event ID because all we need is the ID.value. It already converted it. I don't have to, right? To be able to do ID.value. Yeah, that's an int. Cool. So now I need to look at my syndication library and see what I did with it. And I don't think I have the calendar one included in here. Where are you, NuGet? 99% sure. Have it. Edit the file. See. Nope. Just web syndication. And I don't know if that has the calendar portion of it. Let's go and see. The home controller. Joseph Codagno.utilities.web.syndication.calendar. Cool. I could do the Geo one in here. Actually, I still have built-in support for it. Maybe I'll do that. Calendar. What was the code to do that? See. Hey, dude, I just. Oh, because this actually writes it out to it. And I don't know if that's going to work anymore. Let's go pull up that code and see what it looks like. So let's go here. File, open. Oh, look at that. It's one of my recent files. That's what happens when you have 300 recent files in the list. Let's open it up in a new window. Good thing I have no passwords in here. Let's go to the Explorer. While it's loading. My stream freeze. I think the stream might have froze. I was looking to the right. I'll keep the YouTube video going at least. Huh. I got all that working. Nice. Let's see with the calendar how it writes it out. So it assumes the context. This is calendar string serializer. Get calendar instance, append event to calendar. Huh. What actually writes it? Where do I write it? Calendar, generate calendar, calendar instance, calendar as string. I am not using the context anywhere. Why do I pass it in? That is just weird. Oh, you know what? I might have changed that from the old way to new way now, because this comes back as a string. And then I just write out the string. So I don't need the context anymore, which is why this is complaining, because it's not a parameter anymore. Okie dokie. Let's go and 1, Alt Tab 2, core. So this would be var. Actually, I'm just going to declare a string up here. String to var calendar equals string dot empty calendar generate calendar. I need it a calendar item, which should just be the event. which I believe we call Meetup. So here we have a conference ID, but we need the Meetup ID too. So where do I get the Meetup ID from? Actually, we don't even need the conference. I mean, technically, we want the conference in there, but we're really only looking at the ID. That's all we really care about. Bar Meetup equals underscore Meetup. Oh, is the Meetup service not passed in? Oh, only syndication service was passed in. Private read only Meetup service score Meetup service. My Meetup service Meetup. Sounds kind of freaky. Let's call the Meetup service. They have a special name for that somewhere. Underscore Meetup service equals Meetup service. It's one thing I love about dependency injection. I can just say, hey, give me this. And it says, okay, here, have it. Service dot get Meetup async. And then ID dot value. Should be async. Wait. And I should rename you because that is not the right format. Which means you need to be renamed to. Okay. And we want to write out that action. I'll worry about that in a minute. Now for here, we want var meetups equals await underscore meetup service dot get meetups for conference ID. Then the conference ID is going to be conference ID. Then calendar equals blah, 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 blah. Generate, and this should be meetups. Cool. And then we need to, let's put a to-do here, to-do. Send the string of on the res. Yes, it is, Ancient Coder. It is a big jump. We've been doing this for 2 weeks now, or 3 weeks. Granted, they've only been at hour increments, but there's a lot of stuff I'm rewriting. I pretty much rewrote the entire base of it, took all the business layer into an API now and data, and now just putting up a lot of it. It is more of an effort. It's a little bit different if I'm just, flipping a bit and saying this was in .NET Framework, now it's in .NET Core. But I did a lot of rewriting and re-architecting. If you look at the sample here, there were 4 classes. There was a logic, or 4 components of logic, data, domain, and web. Now it's broken up a little bit more fine-tuned, where we have data, which also has data SQL, which has its own test. We have a domain for models. We have an API so that we can have different UIs. So it's definitely a lot different. Plus learning how .NET Core does things, or ASP.NET Core does things versus ASP.NET. So it's a big jump. Yes, it is .NET 5 MVC. Right now, we're just working on the exterior of it by adding in the RSS feeds, which we wrapped up a little bit ago. Now we are adding the calendar feed so we can generate an iCal file, but we have the premises set up for, if we look at our controllers, events where we can view the events, edit, update, and delete. Right now, we just have them showing a single event, a single title, because I think that part was the easiest part. All the plumbing is the harder part now, which I've been focusing on. So got that to do. Send a string of calendar cows. Okay, so this is complaining, and it's probably complaining because Meetups does not, probably doesn't implement the calendar event, I'm guessing. Go and double check. Meetups. There's my models, domain, models. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Call them events. How does the RSS feed work? Oh, the RSS feed works because I think I actually override it when I am writing it myself as opposed to just passing in the RSS. Okay. That's what I did. The purpose of the API layer. So the question is, if web layer is MVC, what's the purpose of a API layer? So I did the API layer for 2 things. First is scalability. I can have the API running on one machine or one set of servers while the web UI is running on another. But the probably more prevalent reason for it is because of the client. I plan to create a mobile client for this next, but I was working on the responsive application, then next create a mobile app. And by having the API, I don't need to have to pull out all that logic separately. So I'll be able to maintain a mobile application and a full-fledged web app, which is why they're separate. Hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, no worries. I talked about that a little bit during the very beginning when I started this, and get different people. Oh, okay, good. Let's see. So I gotta convert this, I think, into a iCalendar item. So let's see what an iCalendar item was. It should be here. Calendar item, summary, description, start date, end date. Ugh. So much. So much. The easy way to do that, possibly part cheating, is to just do that. We can change it here by doing calendar. But I don't really want to do that in here. I could just do, calendar item here, but then I need to reference that in this domain, and I really don't want to do that because that ties them close together. So what I could do, oh, it's weird. The class is called Meetup, but I actually call the file event. Huh. Surprised Resharper didn't complain about that. Let's change hue. Tools, edit, rename. And let's see, what do I want to do? I can do a separate model here and call it a class. Call it calendar item. This calendar item implements Joseph Guadagno.utilities.web.syndication.calendar. Interfaces.iCalendar item, and Resharper implement those. Implement them all. Are you complaining? No, it's not assigned. Going to need gets and sets for these. And then what we'll do is I am going to add AutoMapper and have AutoMapper do it for us, but that's going to be a pain in the oh, because now what we're going to have to do is prior to that, we can loop through and create one or more calendar items based on it, but it's just easier to do with AutoMapper, and I really was trying to avoid adding it to here. I mean, granted, we got it in the data layer at some point, but it's either that or I muddy up the domain layer that's used by both of these with implementation details, which I try to avoid. So let's go and do it the quote unquote right way. Let's go here. I think I have AutoMapper registered in here. Oh, it's in the data manager. In the data manager, which is here. Which is here. There we go. Models and mapping. So we're going to create something similar to this. I am going to create a mappings folder here. A directory mappings. And then to be consistent, I am going to do a web UI class web UI profile. And let's see. Inherit profile, and then override the constructor. Where'd you go? Mappings. Inherit profile. And then public web UI profile. Why are you complaining? Doesn't like capital I. Well, too bad. Now I need to add in unit or automapper. So let's go here, automapper, use you, and add it to the domain. That should be good. Alt enter. Import missing references. Now we need the mappings. Let's go and make a sample. We're going to go for a hard one like this one. Take it. So while this is up, let's go. Where are you? Equal mappings. Where's my mapping? I close all other tabs for now because I need them. I need them next to each other so I could see, because we are going to compare the classes. Essentially what we want to do is create map from models dot, this is going to be domain dot models dot meetup to models dot calendar item, and then do a dot for member, and then destination member. Sorry. Destination dot. Oh, these are, I don't think we want that way. Control T, SQL profile. Want individual properties. Destin. Oh yeah, okay. It's this line here. Copy out this whole line here. Missed the spot. We got destination dot description. We want to pull in what field we want for that. So we do comma, and then typically op. Get out of my way. Op dot map from source dot comments. So now we need to do that for each individual member, which is why I need to pull them up. So let's do your meetup CS, and I am going to put you over split right. and go here and do calendar item, split you, split move right. No, that one. And get you. I don't need you, big screen, and let's move you down. Split and move down. Cool. So I can compare, pretty much need each field in here. I need to map it to one of the fields here. I can get rid of you now because I don't care about that. Or member, actually, let's just do this. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's go and change the name. So we got first field is summary. Second field is description. Next one is start date. Next one is end date. Next one is location. Organizer. Latitude. Longitude. Status. And name. Cool. Now we have to map those from what field we want them to come from. So the summary, actually that can come from comments too. Description. Well, let's see what I did with the other one. Make it easier. This one. This implemented the iCalendar feed. So let's go to an event. This is what we did. I copied that so I can actually paste that over to where I want it to go. Alt tab here. Scratch pad first. Actually, I can just close you, and I can just paste this here for now, and then I will go and fix it. So summary went to name. Description went to comments. Start date went to start time. Guessing this was end time. Location went to source.venue. Let's do full address. I think we don't want to do that, but that's fine. Organizer. It should be a user somewhere. Created by. That's what I use. Yeah. Created by .email. Should be venue.latitude. Venue longitude. Status. What was the status one? Event state.name. Event state. I'll just do that. Probably gonna break. And I have an extra one. Did you name twice? Summary. Let's just do name. Should be Nope. Oh, come on. What am I? Oh, let's get rid of you guys now. Create map. For that one. Here for that one. I was just complaining because the other one. So now this should create all the mappings for me. And now I just need to register the mapping CI container, which is done here somewhere. Oh, it's not. Where did I do it? Repository startup, I bet. Yeah. There's one, a mapper. Where did I register the mapper? I thought I registered a mapper here. Oh, I probably did it in the data managers, I bet. It's been a while since I looked at this. Configuration, add SQL repositories. There it is. So I am going to need to do that in my services, which is here somewhere. Oh, well, the mapping in one and mappings in another. Mapping. Oh, why did you fail to import? Why did you fail to import? It just took too long. Yeah, it just took too long. So that should be good. Now I need. I should probably do this in a service, but now that we're halfway down the calendar way, I'm just going to do it in here. Say here, I need the mapping service now. Private, read only. I literally just looked at this. I don't know why I can't remember things so friggin' so quickly. So quickly, I forget. Just need an IMapper. Okie IMapper it is. IMapper score mapper. Yes. Insert you. Mapper. Score mapper equals mapper. And here I need to map it. Bar calendar. Meetups equals mapper dot, and what's the syntax? Mapper dot map. Mapper dot map is to be a model dot calendar item. This wants to be a list of calendar. Meetup ratio. Pass it in the meetups. And we should be good. Now this should just be calendar meetups. Now we're green. My follow on like to say, now we're kicking with gas. Calendar meetup equals underscore mapper dot map models dot calendar item meetup. Down here we call this calendar meetup, and we are good. Send calendar. So now if this all works correctly, I am going to put a breakpoint here, and we are going to call it with a not 99 and a 99 and see what we get. Drum roll, please. Be cool if it builds on the first try too. Look at that, built on the first try. Make a profession out of coding. Oh, got a build error. Error on the screen. Da-da-da-da. Incomplete value in a route. What did I type? Oh, look at that. I missed it. Sure, I did. Yeah, that was the only one. So here I go talking about it, bragging I didn't get a build when that's something that doesn't get caught in build, and I messed up. That's what I get for bragging. Even though I wasn't really bragging. Hey, no eternal error. Close you, close you, close you, close you, and two, because close the whole thing. So if I do tech at events info /cal, I should get the breakpoint. And I did. And I got the mapping right because it didn't complain. So this calendar meetups should look like a list of 9 items, which it does. And they're all calendar items with a lot of good data. Wow, honestly, I am shocked I got it right this time. So let's play this and see if the conversion works. The conversion works, so our calendar string should look pretty interesting, which it does. It is a event. Oh, sorry, my mouse is moving all over the place. I'm just gonna cancel because I don't know what I did. Okay. Stop and rerun. My mouse just selected and accidentally deleted something. So now I'm going to try it with 99 and make sure I only get one item and it works. And then we are good to go. I just need to figure out how to write that string out to the screen. So let's do string 99. Got here to the next line and count. Wasn't calendar anymore. Calendar prod, blah, blah, blah. Clicks, right? Sweet. If I click the view, I can keep the mouse straight that long, but we can see here that there is a lot here, and that does look like a valid event. So sweet. Now we just needed to write it out, and I don't remember the syntax for writing it out. So let's see what I did in the other one. Actually, let's stop this for now. And let's go back to the other one. Nope, this one. Generate calendar. I wrote it out as a file, and then I used the library to output the file. This one we might want as a file result. Save that string as a file. Okay. Add this method here to get a safe name for it. So we essentially just wrote this to browser. Okay. Well, we got that part. I'm not going to go through and, fumble through the creation of a physical file. It's something we've done a couple different times on the stream. Later, Ancient Coda. Thanks for joining. Oops, sorry. I'll go and get the ICS file and everything taken care of using the file result. That's all I had. Hopefully you got something out of it. We got the calendar working and we got the feed working. So kudos to us. Like what you see, subscribe on the YouTube channel or hit the follow button on Twitch. And also reach out to me on any one of these social media things below, JoeG Wadagno, or Facebook page or YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.